Out of the initial selection of the European team for the first time in 7 years, is here to prove a point on Nicholson is chomping at the bit to bring home another Burghley title after 7 years. Let's join our commentary team of Alice Plunkett and Ian Stark.
Well, we have the ever-popular and consistent William Fox-Pitt. He hasn't been distracted by the publication of his autobiography, Where There's a Will. He put in a lovely test on Parkmore, a horse he rides intermittently with the owner Philip Adkins, achieving a very decent score of 41.4. But the release of that book has fired the intense rivalry between him and New Zealander Andrew Nicholson, the equivalent in this sport of Formula One's Fernando Alonso and Lewis Hamilton. Andrew Nicholson himself, though, was absolutely fantastic on the 16-year-old Lord Killinghurst, a horse that's placed in many major competitions but still yet to win one.
William Fox-Pitt, as he comes into the start box on Parkmore, the 3-times champion, lying in second place overnight on this horse. Very inexperienced, this is his first time at this level, but good placings at 2 3-star levels. Let's hear about this horse and his second ride, Ballincoola.
I've had some great rides around here, and this year is one of the biggest tracks that I would have ridden. I think it's going to be very exciting, but right from the beginning, it's testing, it's narrow, you're turning, and it's very, very bold. Ballincoola, he's a brilliant horse. He's here for his 5th time. The other one, Parkmore, it's his first 4-star, it's his first Burghley. It'd be a big test for him, but he's a super horse, and if he's up for it, I think I'll be excited by him.
Just shuffles a little bit reluctant.
And just shows
at the Invesco options, and a very nice approach, and the horse not really showing that he's inexperienced, that this is his first 4-star. He's jumped that better than anyone.
Ooh, but he jumps on and off the double of hedges, not what William would have planned.
No, there he did show his inexperience, but showed he could be a bit of a hunter there, quite happy to bank a fence if need be. Interesting to see what effect it does have now, but absolutely nothing. You know, some young horses may have been a little worried about jumping on top of that fence, but William gave a lot of confidence to Parkmore there, and the horse jumped beautifully through the trout hatchery.
He's a horse with a massive stride, and William often incredibly deceptive. When you watch him, you think he's not going very quick, but the rhythm keeps coming, and this horse dwells a little bit in the air, but he's still very accurate.
Yeah, but quite loose reins there from William. He obviously trusted the horse. I mean, he was sort of riding forward, but
he's got another ride to come as we pick up Parkmore at halfway, and 16 seconds out. Well, he wouldn't want to be that far down, William. Lucy Vigersmar, who was 2 seconds over with a long way, was just 7 seconds out at this halfway point, so he's going to have to get going.
Yeah, but there's a lot of galloping to come. Quite capable of doing the time if this horse has got
105 to get home. We would say you need, well, between 105 and 110 to get back, so he's pretty much on target if he can get straight through here.
And what I was just thinking as William was approaching that, he's sort of classic at that type of fence, William. He just keeps the balance and keeps the rhythm, and you know, he just nursed that horse through that combination.
He spends a lot of time at home jumping, turning fences on the young horses from the beginning of their training, and they just do seem to lock on with him. He looks to where he's going next, and as you said, it seems to flow as he comes down to the second last and the last. 7 seconds to get home. Is he going to do it?
He's going to be pushed, but he's certainly going to try. He's having a look at his watch, suddenly having an extra kick there, but 1 second over, unbelievable. But how fantastic on a new young horse. 1 second over the time at his first 4-star. He will be thrilled with that.
He was fantastic, just a little bit tired towards the end, but again, you know, I knew he would be his first 4-star, but he's a brilliant jumper, and apart from touching down on that massive hedge, he was ace. He knew what he was doing. I was a bit surprised, but I think he saw it was a drop, saw how big it was, and thought, nah, on top.
Well, a man who could snatch the lead from William Fox-Pitt, Andrew Nicholson.
Well, I'll give it a very good shot. I've got a very, very good experienced horse in Lord Killinghurst. Silbury Hill is nowhere near as experienced, but yeah, he's quite capable, and if he can sort of cope with the crowds, you know, I think he could be near enough, but I'll be putting my money on Lord Killinghurst.
And I'm not surprised. This horse put in a fantastic performance in the dressage to put him into second place. Andrew Nicholson got one of the best team of horses arguably he's ever had, and this horse has been such a stalwart for him, third twice here at Burghley. Nicholson comes to the leaf pit. This is, as ever, a top international field, Ian, 10 nations represented, and there's no one better than Andrew. He really has been a stalwart of the New Zealand team for so many years.
He certainly has, but Lord Killinghurst is making him work there. He's a bit hesitant off the bank, and then a little half.
So over the Invesco options. A little bit pokey, but actually the way it's been riding, that was pretty good.
Yeah, it was actually pretty good, but the horse just slides over his fences sometimes. But having said that, he does an enormous jump over that parallel brush that many horses, like William Fox-Pitt, have been jumping on top of.
Nicky Salmon, who's such a brilliant supporter of British eventing, owns this horse. He's given her so much fun over the years, and Andrew, interestingly, taking a longer route.
I don't think he had much choice but to take the longer route. I mean, the horse just ploughed through the brush over that drop, and quite safe because it was brush, but it left Andrew with no choice but to take the alternative. As he comes now to the Waterloo rails, and the horse is actually pulling a bit there. That's unusual for this horse. Normally he's slightly scrubbing along, dare I say, but actually picked up the bridle and run onto those two fences.
Point the Dairy Mound, and look at that, 10 seconds out, but as we've seen, that is very much gettable, and this is a guy who likes to pride himself on getting those optimum times. He really is one of the best. Always a bit chancy.
A little bit chancy, but you know, it's fascinating that he's on such a Nicholson and Lord Killinghurst galloping down Winners Avenue, these two skinny brush fences, and he puts in an extra stride but gets away with it. Capabilities cutting now for Lord Killinghurst, heading towards the latter part of the track. The grim determination on Andrew's face there.
The serious focus, isn't there? No one more determined than Andrew Nicholson. He'll convince this horse that clear is the only option, and he's looking quite strong for him.
He is, yeah, I'm quite impressed. He is actually galloping on well. I mean, he seems to pick up the bridle every now and again.
Nicholson comes to the last tough combination, the Land Rover Arena. This horse still full of running.
He is, he's going on extremely well. And Andrew can keep riding this horse at the fences. You know, he does his own setting up the horse. You can sort of dare him up the jumps. And there at the last element, a very short stride, and the horse just backed himself off and came up sharp in front.
Yeah, he loves this top of the ground, Lord Killinghurst. He really bounces off it. As I say that, coming out of the arena, Andrew just having to give him a kick, but he's renowned for being very fast across the country, incredibly economical, still really jumping. He certainly is, and Andrew driving him to the finish. That time's so important.
It is very important, but that was a really good stride Andrew saw to that third last fence. I mean, the horse just galloped to it, picked up and flew it as he comes to the last two jumps. Yikes, and he slightly guessed at that one. I think the horse made the decision there, and then almost a bit of a miss for Andrew at the last. Very unusual sight, but look at that time. 9 seconds into the lead, and what a fantastic run from Andrew and Lord Killinghurst.
Incredible. He is Mr. Consistency. Another horse clear inside the time for Andrew Nicholson.
Quite positive. A lot of pressure on the horses, and they're having to jump big. Then you get to little jumps. It's very difficult to take the pressure off without them thinking they're finished. But yeah, there we go.
But you must be so pleased for this horse, because you've put him in a position, obviously there's still Clayton to come who could go ahead of you, but you've put him in a position where he could finally win one of these big titles, and he deserves it, doesn't he?
Yeah, I'm sure he deserves it. Yeah, and I think he's in a good position. We had a nice little rub at the last here, just to remind him about the coloured ones tomorrow. And I'd love him to be able to win one for his sake. And, yeah.